Hello, everyone. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. It is always a pleasure to talk to my dear friend. I would love for him to introduce himself, his first and last name, and all he's up to.
Sheldon, I'm Louis Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and the author of Saving Men from Themselves 20 Proven Tactics with a New Approach to Healthy Living for Men Over 50. How are you?
I am so good. I am so good. Coming off a fun-filled weekend, so I am so
Yeah.
good. What's going on with you?
Well, what's going on is, yes, that's the weekend as we record this was Father's Day.
Yay.
Great day. I spent some time. I've got two sons, as you know, and
Yes,
now three grandchildren, two
yes,
boys and one little girl. And particularly the newest one, the 6 month old little boy, was just, a cutie pie darling and
sure.
really, an inspiration for me to keep going with
Yes.
this healthy lifestyle stuff because that's what it's all about.
What it's all
That's what
about.
it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Happy Father's Day to you,
Thank you.
my dear
Thank you.
friend, and to all the daddies out there, those that have really truly stepped up to take care of the next generation and the next generation following, et cetera, et cetera. It was a fun-filled
Exactly.
weekend on our end too. A lot of folks
Yes, it
around.
was. And because it's Father's Day, we also are reminded that June is Men's Health Month.
It is.
And as
Yes,
we
it
move through the month and attend to all the requisite recognitions that comes with men's health, which is one, obviously, to reinvigorate and recharge the effort for men to live healthy, to get their checkups, to
yeah.
try to maintain a healthy lifestyle, because it is about that next generation. Talk about that more in a second.
So,
And also what you and I have done and what I do in my advocacy is to kind of assess the state of men's health.
sure.
And as we were talking, unfortunately, there's not much new. The men, particularly men over 50, still are engaged in high volumes of obesity and hypertension and high cholesterol and
Yeah.
just things that are not good for sustaining our longevity and giving us the time to spend quality time with the loved ones in our family.
Yeah,
So
for
it's
sure.
not good there. However, there are some
However,
signs of
okay.
positivity out there. Younger generations, millennials and Gen Z, are showing an interest in their health and well-being, is equal and sometimes even more so than financial gains. So there's some encouragement from younger generations. However, offsetting a lot of that is some cultural phenomenon going on now where there's a retreat, if you will, to traditional views of masculinity, that it's like a sign of weakness if you go to the
Yeah.
doctors or express some things. So there's
Right.
a lot of back and forth, and it's not good. All that said, as
Yeah.
we've been talking, there is hope out there, and we find it with one of the other major public health challenges we've had over the last 60 years, and that's smoking cessation. There is
Mm,
new data out, Sheldon, that shows that smoking is down to about 10% of Americans, men and women together, about
right.
10% of American adults. And that's down from an all-time high of about 47% back in 1953 when it really kicked off. So that's been about a 60-year effort. It started, really, people pinpoint it to 1964 when the Surgeon General of the U.S. really issued a report and really started an effort that we've seen over decades now, 60 years,
Wow.
that's really behind all that, and it really is a model that we can follow in men's health. Hopefully our 30-year effort will not take another 30 years or 60 years
Right.
with the smoking
Right.
cessation, but that does give us some hope out there.
Yeah, it gives us a little bit of hope and moving in the right direction. I do know that, as you mentioned before, we would love for those additional numbers or those other numbers to go down. We'd love for men to be moving aggressively towards a healthier lifestyle across all aspects of their life. We love to see this statistic. We do. We love to see it.
Yes.
We love to see them being active participant, especially with the adding of vapes and all these other things that could really have disrupted that number. But it's good to see that. What do you predict in the future? I know this is your life's work, and you've been really working on it so diligently to bring about not only the issues that really challenge men in staying healthy, especially over the age of 50. But what do you see, or is there any kind of silver lining or hope or any
Mhm.
encouraging words that you could kind of share with us in the audience about, the future and what does that really look like for men's health?
Sure. Well, I think what the smoking cessation model tells us and the history there tells us is that we want to sustain that message, right?
Yeah,
That, which is sort of a basic principle of advertising and getting markets to move from the business sector is that repetitive message, examples and illustrations and coalitions of people working on it, that does over time really do make a difference, really does
yeah,
make a difference. And so, the longer, that's why, I'm supercharged about being a men's health advocate
yeah,
because I know that if we sustain that effort, that we really can, change this direction of
yeah,
how men treat themselves. And, whether it's the books or my articles or doing these
yeah.
podcasts, it's all vehicles. And of course, we have more vehicles than ever to get our
Sure.
message out. So I'm encouraged. I think
I
that the
think.
history shows with smoking that we can do this.
I think so too. And I also, everything and every conversation we have is always backed in data. So I always
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I think that that's the important piece of it is really looking at the numbers. I think that it would be really easy for us just to get along, to get along. And okay, men, they seem like they're running all over the place. They seem that they're doing all of these things. We look at again, the masculinity behind our fathers, our uncles, our brothers, and all of these things, and not the underlying issues that may really be there that haven't been discovered as of yet. And so I have to applaud you in the work in which you are doing, the ability to really dig deep, to find the information, to be able to find the studies, to be able to provide the articles, the messages, this show, in order to be able to help give people information in which they do not know. So just wanted to, on this Father's Day and beyond, just say thank you to you for all of the work that you're doing, because I know you're so passionate about it.
Well, appreciate that, Sheldon. Thank you so much. And that's also what gives me encouragement, that being that the evidence suggests that reasonable diet, move a bit, some physical activity, you
Sure.
put those two together, you do it over a consistent period, and you can reduce your risk of disease. You can reduce the risk of losing your what we call functional fitness, right? Your ability to frolic with the grandchildren or to
Yeah.
take vacations with your spouse or whatever it is, taking a
Yeah.
hike, taking a walk, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it really gets down to. So that's why, we beat the drum for this. And again, I think we're going to get through and we're going to change
Yeah.
things over the course of time.
I think so too. I mean, I think that the other thing that you do so well, that is so important and definitely a factor within the smoke studies, et cetera, was repetition, right? It was
Mhm.
staying consistent. It was staying committed to that message. You mentioned 60 years plus. Like it wasn't about letting up or giving up on making sure that we were moving towards and in towards the right direction. It was really about being committed to that message. And I think that the more all of us can be committed to a healthier lifestyle, the better it is for the men in our life as well as for everyone else in our life as well.
Absolutely. And part of my message, and I would got to take advantage of this opportunity to
Yeah, of
reinforce
course.
that, is that beyond the habits, routines, and rituals,
Yeah.
so much about focusing on the end game. That
Mm.
end game, the outcome. We
Yeah.
do this for a reason. Our purpose, our underlying purpose is to spend the time with the
Yeah.
children, the grandchildren, encore careers, travel,
Yes.
retirement, whatever it might be that, kind of floats your boat.
Yeah.
The underlying, factor here is you got to be healthy enough to do it and
You gotta
and
be.
sustain those activities. So that's the motivation. When we studied 1,000 men across this country for the
Sure.
first book many years ago, it
Yeah.
was all about in the 70th percentiles, all about their relationships. So connect the
Mm.
dots, guys.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Sometimes I think, Father's Day, we focus on it because,
Yeah.
there, but then the holiday goes away and we want to get
Yeah.
back to you know, our old ways. So
Yeah. We're going to stick
keep it
with it. We're going
going.
to follow the dots. We're going to keep listening to you as a trusted source. We're going to get our hands on both of those books, as well as follow Fan and like you everywhere we can find you. If people are looking to get in touch with you, my dear friend, where do they find that information?
They can get me on my website at lewisbezich.com or on social media at Lewis Bezich. You'll see what's going on in my world of healthy lifestyle.
Ah, we love it. We love it. We're so grateful for you and all that you do. Again, happy Father's Day to all that are listening and watching from all of us here at This Is It TV. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.